You're in the right place. Grab your surfboard, the water is ready, and let's dive in.
In November, we start with the Samhain portal. So Samhain actually lasts for a couple of days. It begins on All Hallows Eve, Halloween, Samhain on the 31st of October on Tuesday, and then on the Wednesday we move into All Saints Day. And Mars also moves into Libra this day. And I think this is so beautiful that on All Saints Day, a day to commemorate saints, is also when Mars moves into Libra, which means that our action becomes a lot more peaceful, becomes a lot more harmonious. The way that we approach the world is from a more diplomatic point of view. That's actually how we win, is by being more loving, is by being more caring. And does the world ever need more of that energy? But we start with it starting with ourselves. It always has to start with us as the leaders, as the individual. What happens for one happens for many. So we start with this Mars in Libra energy where um, we get to really uncover what is next for us in terms of our actions that would be most harmonious, that would create peace, that would create balance, both in our lives, in our businesses, for our clients. So we get to really, really dive into that Mars energy. And Mars will be moving into Scorpio later in the month. So I'll talk about that once we get there. Then the next day, November 2nd, is All Souls Day. And this is a really profound portal of 3 days from Samhain, All Saints Day, and All Souls Day. And it has a really significant cosmic and celestial relationship to the Taurid meteor stream. This is also the time when the Taurid meteors will begin. Actually, they're going to be starting a week later in, let me just check the exact dates. One moment. Yeah. So the Taurid meteors start on November 8th. I didn't put it on the calendar here because there's lots of meteor showers happening in November. It would have just taken up a lot of the space. But the Taurid meteors come from within Taurus. And this time period, thousands of years ago, it was during the Samhain portal um, that we had meteors coming down on Earth, raining down on Earth. And then some of those meteors actually came and caused the Younger Dryas crisis, melted all the ice caps, created great flooding in the world. Might have been what actually flooded Atlantis and created the great flood myths. And many, many souls died, which is why this is a time when the veil is very thin, when there's lots of connection to our ancestors, because there was this great earth cataclysm. It was the biggest cataclysm of earth and humans dying, similar to the asteroid that took out the dinosaurs. Like, this was the thing that took out a lot of people, lots of our ancient civilizations, lots of our ancient knowledge that we had, ancient high technology as well. And so this is really a time to commemorate the loss of human life, the loss of life on earth that has happened through cataclysm before, and also to honor our ancestors and to honor those that have come before us and walk this earth plane. And so the veil is very thin during this time because of this cosmic celestial season, because of the fact that this is the time period when we move through the Taurid meteors, and those meteors can come and rain down on earth. Not to fearmonger, make you afraid that that's going to happen again, but it is something that's historically happened. And a lot of the monolithic this is what Graham Hancock talks about in his Netflix documentary, Ancient Apocalypse. So if you're more interested in that, look into that. Randall Carlson also did a really great history of Halloween to give you from after school if you want to look into that more. And I'll also be speaking to that energetic more in my new offer that I am launching on Samhain. So if you're more interested in the cosmic and celestial witchiness of this time, then my offer that's coming out on Tuesday on Samhain is going to be something that you want to be looking out for. So please follow me on Instagram if you want to hear more about that. It's at Sanja. I'll put the link for my Instagram in the bio. Not in the bio. Put the link in the bio. I'm just so used to saying that it's hilarious. I'll put it in the comments below for all of you. At Sanja. Okay. So We have All Saints Day, All Souls Day, really commemorating all souls that have come to this planet and all souls that are here, right? It's a day to really honor the soul and honor the soul within each of us and to pray for all souls on earth. Um, at this time with war running rampant and major agendas being tried to, be put into motion, it's a really powerful time to pray and to pray for souls and to connect to our own soul self. So take November 2nd as a day to connect to your own soul. And then the next day we have the Jupiter opposition. So Jupiter is in Aries and it's going to be opposite the sun. And this is also where the earth is going to be, where the moon is going to be at this time. And so Jupiter being opposite the sun, it's again a very expansive time for all of our connections, for our community, for who it is that we connect with, and then who it is that we want to be connected with. And I'll be speaking more to this as we get into the full moon reading and lunar eclipse reading for today. But it's a really, really powerful time to reevaluate your community, reevaluate your audience, reconnect to who it is that you really want to be connecting with based on what is authentic for you, because we all grow, we all evolve, and maybe who we used to spend time with isn't who we're meant to spend time with anymore. And so this is a really powerful thing to consider as we move into Libra season, which is the season of companionship and partnership and friendship and all of the ships of love and connection that we have with people. So take this moment for the Jupiter opposition to really consider that tension of like what might not be working anymore. And then on November 4th, thank goodness, Saturn is going out of retrograde. So Saturn retrograde ends. It's going to stop its movement in Aquarius towards Capricorn. It's going to be going back into Aquarius again. So for those of you, or for those people that you know that are moving through Saturn returns, they're going to be getting hit again by that same Saturn energy that they just experienced a few months back or earlier this year. And it's going to be really profound just to have Saturn, our planet of structure, of time, of structure and time is really what I want to say right now, but of order, be back in order, be back going into its forward motion. So we're going to be having a lot of revelations around what it is that we need to put into place in order to have more order, and what lessons we have learned that we want to put into place in our businesses and with our clients, right? We're going to be really taking the wisdom within us and those lessons within us and applying them now that Saturn is going to be out of retrograde. And of course, it is in Aquarius, which is the philanthropic, humanity-loving sign that really does a lot in the background. So really thinking about how you can have more impact, how you can have more purpose in your sacred business and in your life, in your community, in your family is going to be really profound, but it's going to be from excavating those lessons that you've learned over time. So what have you learned over time, especially since February, because Saturn went into Aquarius in February and then it went retrograde a few months ago. So it's going to be a good time to review, like, what have you learned since February of this year, February 2023? And then how can you apply those lessons into all aspects of your life, but especially in your business? Okay, so I'm just going to take a drink of tea with my Scorpio mug. I love it, my Scorpio mug. Okay. Next, we have Libra season. So Libra season starts on November 5th. Remember the 5th of November. For those of you that haven't watched V for Vendetta, I highly suggest it. It has some very, very profound themes and messages and transmissions around justice and around order. And it's also a very unusual artistic film. It's quite beautiful. It's very verbose and wonderful in the way that it uses language as well. So, but it speaks to a lot of the order in society and government and totalitarian regimes, and it's really profound what it speaks to, and those themes really relate. And it says, remember the 5th of November a lot in that movie, because it's a revolutionary slogan, but remembering the 5th of November is the start of Libra season, and that a large purpose of why we are here on this planet is to create peace on earth, is to have peace reign on earth, where there are no more wars, where, you know, there's no more violence, unneeded, unnecessary violence. Of course, people have free will, but they can't impart that free will where they're going to be hurting another person or impacting another person's free will. And so it's a really powerful time to remember the lessons of peace, the lessons of diplomacy, the lessons of harmony creation. And it's also going to be the last quarter moon, so it's going to be a really great time to be releasing anything else that needs to be released, a really powerful surrender period, a powerful period for forgiveness, a powerful period for prayer, a powerful period to remember that we can and we will and we are creating a beautiful world, and to come into the beauty that is possible for ourselves and the balancing scales that are tipping in favor of love, in favor of beauty, in favor of harmony, in favor of peace. So go into this Libra season with an internal sense of what do you need to create more peace within yourself, within your business, and then what do you need to create peace around the world. Okay, so we get to enjoy that energetic for a while. And then on the 10th of November, Mars and Sun are conjunct. This is a really powerful conjunction because it's in Libra. And this is such a powerful time with this Mars and Sun conjunction in Libra to really, really power up. Like, we're going to be seeing major shifts and changes in the world order and in what's happening in politics, I believe, based on this conjunction. And it's going to be during Libra season. And there's just going to be like a massive need for like ceasefire, for a disarmament, for peace and love to reign on the planet so that we can all prosper, so that we can all live well. Like, that's something that we're actually working towards in our world. And so Mars and Sun conjunction, that's going to be the greater story that's going on. And of course, it might be a little prickly at times, but it's going to be more of the conversation again and again. And internally, for us in our businesses, for us in our personal lives, for us in our leadership, it's going to be a really potent time, so much energy, so much power to put towards our own creation of beauty and harmony in our businesses, our own creation of harmonics in our sacred work. And we're going to have so much energy and so much power to put forward into that. So especially if you felt like anything was out of balance or out of like a disharmony in your business and in your sacred work and in the way that you're able to show up and within yourself as well, it's going to be coming into balance, and you're going to have the energy and the power to actually do something about it, to make tangible shifts in order to shift things. And that same day, Mercury is going into Scorpio. So we're going to have much deeper levels of being able to think and talk and communicate at the depths of ourselves. So being able to talk and be able to think at those levels is going to be what's also going to help us and support us in doing the really big work that we need to do in order to create internal and external peace. Right? If we can't be honest with ourselves and we can't tell the truth with ourselves, then how are we ever going to have really profound change? So this is a really potent time. This is a really potent cosmic activation for ourselves, and to go into the depths of what it is that we have to go to for ourselves, for our own leadership, for our own businesses, with our own clients, right? It's going to be kind of like a no more bullshit approach to our work, and with our with way that we look at ourselves as well. No more of our own BS, and by BS, it's unloving thoughts, limiting beliefs, and actions that just haven't been taken but that now need to be taken. So it's going to be a really powerful time for all of us to activate and to create and to really, really make waves. So I'm really, really excited about this time. And then, of course, with all of this energy leading up to Veterans Day, Remembrance Day, a really powerful time to remember and honor those that have died and sacrificed their lives, especially the men that have been, brought into fighting wars. And, you know, whether or not you agree with those wars, I definitely don't. I'm a child of war. I grew up during the Yugoslavian War. In Sarajevo, I had to escape a siege of the city when I was a child with my family, and it left a really big mark on me, and I had to do really intense trauma healing around it, and PTSD healing. And war to me is never fully justified, but it is really profound to honor those people and those men especially that have sacrificed themselves and given themselves over as true warriors, right? The warrior is the one that will sacrifice themselves and put themselves on the line for a greater cause. So remembering these people and honoring them, and also putting out a prayer that we don't have to have this anymore. We don't have to have this program running anymore in the world. That hopefully in the future there won't need to be more remembrance of more warriors and more soldiers that have died in battle, more men that have killed other men, and women that have killed other women, and people that have been harmed, such as civilians. But it's a really powerful day to honor what has happened and what has been, and to fully, deeply pray that we are creating a new world where that won't happen anymore. So it's the dual, right? It's the 11. It's that dual point of view that we are going to have during this time. Okay. And then on the 13th, after all of that energy, we have a Libra new moon. So it's going to be, again, during eclipse season, which we are currently in, is not a very good time to set intentions, to plant seeds, and like quite literally, but also figuratively in terms of your business. So on the 13th of November, and it's also the 13th, which is so fabulous. I love all 13 days, but you get to actually set new intentions and set new heights around what it is that you want to bring into your business, what it is that you want to bring into your life, what changes you want to see. So all of that energy that's happening earlier that week, you can channel it all and funnel it all into really powerful goals and intentions that you set during this new moon phase. And this is also when Uranus is in opposition. So we're going to have deeper connection to our cosmic celestial selves, to higher knowledge, to higher understanding. And it's going to be really profound. And Uranus is also in Aries. So again, we're going to have this really profound opposition of the new moon with Uranus, where we're going to be able to, all those intentions that we have are going to be deeper than we've ever considered before in terms of what their impact is on the collective. So really, really deep collective shifting happening here. Okay. And then on the 15th of November, we have Mercury entering Ophiuchus. So Mercury in Ophiuchus is a really powerful time to have healing happen. Healing happen both mentally in terms of your own mind, in terms of your own ways of thinking, in terms of your own ways of talking about yourself and to the world. It's going to be really powerful for your ability to heal, your ability to speak and have healing words coming through. And especially during this time, it's very important. It adds more power to the punch, right? In terms of being able to speak really powerfully from the point of view of Ophiuchus, and also really artfully. So your mind and your ability to speak is going to be more artful, more expressive, deeper healing. It's a really powerful time to do healing work, especially healing work that changes your mindset and changes the way that you talk, and really is an expressive form. So really good time to write poetry, or to just like go on lives and be expressing yourself, because what you say will be a healing force in your life and in the lives of others. And yes, I agree. Jennifer's just saying in the comments that war is the agenda of psychopaths. It absolutely is. War is incredibly evil. We are not naturally warring. That is not our natural state of things. And and it's a matter of honoring those that have been harmed by war, honoring those that have been victims to it, and including those soldiers that have been, often indoctrinated into that belief. And it's just so profound to honor this time and to have healing around it, right? What if this Mercury and Ophiuchus season and this Libra season is our opportunity to have a lot of healing within ourselves, within our own lineages around war, and for those that are currently suffering and currently victims of war, to send them love and prayers and do what we can in order to create a more loving world, right? That is what this energetic is really giving us an opportunity to initiate without. And something that I disagree with in terms of V for Vendetta is that it's not about vendetta. It's not about retaliation. It's not about getting back. It's about balance. It's about restoring order. It's about restoring peace and harmony to the world, right? Having a peaceful agenda. And then on November 20th is when we move into that Scorpio Libra cusp. So it's going to be both Scorpio and Libra stars happening, but it's the start of Scorpio. You could call it the start of Scorpio season, but I technically consider it the start of Scorpio season on the 24th of November. It's also going to be the first quarter moon on the 20th. So it's like a really initiatory time, a really good time to notice what have we been able to create so far? Like, what have we created so far with Libra, with all of this energy around peace and love and harmony imbuing within all of us? What has been the result of that? What can we already celebrate? And what's next? What further action needs to be taken? That's what the first quarter moon always reminds us. And then on the 23rd, Mars goes into Scorpio. So Mars is in Scorpio, and we're just going to have, and it's also Thanksgiving Day in the USA that day. So really, really powerful Mars Scorpio energy means that we're going to be just fully going for it, like fully taking all of the action, all of like the things that we were never willing to do before, the depths of us that we were never willing to share before. We will have the gusto and the energy to do that now. We will have the added Mars fire in order to take those actions and to put ourselves out there in that way, and to really go there, to really go deep within ourselves, right? To go to those depths of our hearts, the depths of our wombs, the depths of our psyche, the depths of our being, to be with our body in a way we never have before, and to fully go into the realms of depth that was needed in order for us to heal, in order for us to offer that healing to others, and in order for us to create the momentum and the shifts that we need. And Mars is in Scorpio the day before, and Mars and the Sun are really close to each other. Like I said, they have that conjunction on the 10th. The next day is when true Scorpio season fully starts. So then we're in the depths of Scorpionic energy, and we are just in that alchemical portal of being able to change and transmute so much within us and within the collective. And we get a little bit lighter. We have a little bit of lightness that happens on the 27th because our full moon will be in Taurus. So our full moon in Taurus on the 27th is going to be a really powerful time to connect with our bodies, to connect with what's next, to connect with the practical steps that we need to take in order to create the lives that we want. Everything that's being uncovered for us during Scorpio season is going to just come into come into solid ground on this Taurus full moon. So it's looking at what has been created, what needs to happen next in a very practical, pragmatic point of view, and how can we connect to the earth? How can we be in deeper reverence and deeper union with the earth and within our own bodies? Right, the earth that is our bodies and the earth that is around us. How can we come into deeper reverence with the earth and what is being revealed to us in that way? And then what are the practical steps to take to make that happen, right? It might actually be like grounding and earthing more, going for more walks, hugging trees, connecting, talking to the trees, talking to the plants, drinking more herbal medicines, that kind of thing. But it's going to be this really practical way of like walking with the earth path, like this new earth path that we're here to walk. And then the next day, Mercury goes into Sagittarius. So Mercury has 3 changes during this month. So it starts off in Libra, and then it's in Scorpio, and then it's in Ophiuchus, and then it's in Sagittarius. So we have a lot of dynamic, shifting, ever evolving energy happening this month. So it's a really good time. It's going to keep us on our toes. It's going to keep us ever evolving. It's going to keep us ever shifting. And in terms of Mercury, it's also how we communicate and how we express ourselves in our business. So Sagittarius is when we get to bring more lightness, more fun, more play. It's going to be a really dark and serious time during Scorpio season, during Ophiuchus Mercury season, during Mercury Scorpio season. And even during this Libra season, it is the season of peace, but we are not experiencing peace on earth at this time. And so it's going to be a time to bring more jovialness, more revelry, more fun, more play to the energy, and more exploration. Where can we explore? Where can we expand ourselves as Mercury goes into Sagittarius? And then, of course, the next day, the sun also is in Ophiuchus. It's in the crotch of Ophiuchus, which is pretty fun, in those sacred jewels, in that sacred space of Ophiuchus. And so, again, we get to start dancing. We get to start moving all of this darkness that we've been with. We get to transmute it and move it through our bodies and move it through the collective as we do that for ourselves, right? As above, so below, as within, so without. And so it's really, really powerful for us to actually take all of this energy that we've transmuted, that we've shifted, and actually start giving it more lightness, more love, more ease. So it's today's sky for the Aries full moon lunar eclipse. This full moon, as you can see, is in the very beginning of Aries. It's just past the ram's head. And also right below it is the head of Cetus, which is the great sea monster. So we have the head of Aries and the head of Cetus at this time. And so this is a really potent time to really consider what is being shifted within yourself and what is being uncovered about your own identity and who you are and how you're going to be showing up for yourself and in this and in your business, in terms of this is me, this is who I am, right? That is the energy of Aries, I am energy, and how you can go first and put yourself first. So when we really serve ourselves and we put ourselves first and we decide to put our best foot forward, we can see a big shift and change in everything that we do. So this is a really powerful time for our identity to be shifting, for identity to be solidifying more into who it is that we truly are. And so it's a really, really profound moment also, as some of the questions that I put below are, that we're going to have this like internal sea monster, this internal part of us that feels like this hidden in the depths sea monster, like the primordial monster that lies within us that we haven't been willing to look at, but that we need to acknowledge and that we need to release and that we need to heal from in order to become our full selves. So that is what this underbelly, that is what this undercurrent of Cetus being right below Aries and right below the moon is here to show us. And since this is a lunar eclipse, and it's a partial lunar eclipse, so it's not a ring of fire eclipse like we just had 2 weeks ago with that Aries ring of fire solar eclipse. We're going to be really deeply having that shift and that transition for ourselves in a way that's a little bit softer, in a way that's a little bit gentler, right? It's still Virgo season in the sky, in the sun. So Virgo, Mercury, and Mars are all in Virgo right now. And I actually didn't pinpoint when it's during later this month that Mercury goes into Virgo. That's why I didn't point it out in the November reading, but it's still a really beautiful time to really care and honor for ourselves and make sure that we're really taking very excellent care of ourselves and our own well-being, because we're really going through this massive transformation. Eclipse season is always a time when massive shifts and changes happen. Our perception of time is warped. Sometimes it's going slower, sometimes it's going faster. The people that we surround ourselves with tend to change, right? It's a changing of characters, it's a changing of players on our stage of life, and who we are, how it is that we show up. We get to show up as our authentic selves, and who our authentic selves are is what's being really defined and what's being really carefully expressed. And then since the sun is still in Aries, or still in Virgo, we get to fully take care of ourselves in a whole new way, like based on who we are now, different from who we were a year ago, different from who we were 10 years ago, who we are today. How is it that we need to take care of ourselves? What kind of needs do we have to meet for ourselves? What is our ideal way to eat? What is our ideal way to exercise? What is our ideal way to sleep? What is our ideal way to connect to the other realms and meditate and connect to ourselves in a deeper way? And then what is this deep sea monster within us that we're ready to vanquish this supermoon? It's not a supermoon, I mean this eclipse moon. So with this eclipse season, we get to really take hold of this energy that can sometimes feel really chaotic and can feel really unpredictable, but we get to harness it in service of ourselves and our own self evolution. So my questions to you is what new dimension of yourself will you reveal in your life, but also in your marketing, right? There's this new dimension of yourself that's being excavated, that's being put forth during this lunar eclipse, and there's this new dimension. It gets to be shown in your marketing. So what is that going to be, right? It might be something that you're already aware of, that you already know that you're like this, but then you actually get to show that to the world and put it forward in the way that you share about yourself and share about your business. And then what is shifting and morphing around your identity and around your community, because the sun or the moon is really close to Jupiter, and like I said, will be opposing Jupiter in just a couple days in November. And so there is this massive shift around our community, around our audience, around who it is that we're here to serve. So what is that? What is that shift? What is that level of morphing? What can you see for yourself based on who you are now and how your own identity has shifted? How is that community going to shift around you now that you've unlocked this new layer of yourself, right? You've unlocked a new level for yourself, like in a video game, and then the new arena that you're in gets to change as well. So what have you noticed? What is going to be shifting around you? That's the first layer of what this lunar eclipse full moon is really here to teach us about. First of all, the moon is not just opposing the sun, but it's also opposing Mercury and Mars. So Mercury and Mars are really close to each other, and they're pretty close to the sun as well. So Mercury and Mars are having like a full-on conjunction, which means in the end of Virgo, which means that, again, this level of self-change, this level of self-shift, this level of coming into yourself is based on you transforming your internal thoughts, your internal environment, the way that you see yourself, perceive yourself, think about yourself, right? The negative self-talk is what's being eradicated at this moment, because you can't have it. It can't be a part of it's not a part of who you truly are. And it's not who you really are here to be. And so we have to release it in order to become our true selves. But it's also just based on past pain, past wounding, past trauma that is here to now be released. And it also stops us from taking the actions that we need to take to fully be who we are in our businesses and in our lives. Because when we doubt ourselves, when we think critically of ourselves, then we can't actually show up fully. So allow yourself to release all of this. It's going to be tension. This is an opposition, so there is a lot of tension points around this. So let it be released. Really let that self-critique, that self-criticism, that self-doubt, those limiting beliefs, let them come up, let them be unearthed, let them be revealed during this full moon and eclipse, and then let them be eclipsed, let them be removed, let them be no more, right? When we come into awareness of them is the first step that we take in order to fully take the next step into who we're here to be, right? Because this moon in Aries is here to represent us being fully who we are, us being fully ourselves, our most authentic, real selves, and not letting those limiting beliefs stop us and hinder us from taking the actions that we need to take and actually caring for ourselves the way we need to care for ourselves, right? Thinking of ourselves as the leaders that we are, caring for ourselves as the leaders that we are, taking immaculate care so that we can show up with a full cup and that we can show up with immaculate ability to serve. Okay, this Also, all of this energy is opposing Jupiter. So we have Jupiter here. So this means that all of this energy that's directed towards you and your own identity and the way that you perceive yourself is also directed towards the people that you surround yourself with and your community and your audience and who you're around. And I've been saying this for a little while now because Jupiter has been here, but again, it's this ability to, do you have false perceptions of your audience? Do you have projections or ideas or beliefs or opinions or judgments that you have around your audience and the people that follow you or your clients and your customers that you need to release so that you can fully connect to your true soul clients, so that you can connect to your true soul audience, so that you can really be in alignment with the people that you're here to serve? And maybe those people are changing entirely. Maybe you're going to be doing something brand new in your business. Maybe you're going to be serving someone brand new and a group of people that are new to you, that's different from who you served before. It's shifting and morphing and changing. So my questions to you are, what are you going to do in your marketing and in your business that you've never done before, right? This is what this new spark of life energy that Aries represents, the never been done before, the trailblazer energy. What is the trail that you're going to blaze, the blaze that you're going to trail is what I was going to say. What is it that you're going to do in your marketing and in your service that you've never done before? Right? Maybe it's being in a new channel. Maybe it's sharing in a totally different way. Maybe it's the type of post you're putting out there. Maybe it's email. Maybe it's getting marketing support from myself or another person so that you can actually do it differently and really, and have it never be done before. And then the midhaven is in Libra. So all of this is bringing about balance and harmony in your business. All of this is bringing about more beauty, more like it, especially fairness, right? If you feel like you haven't had a lot of fairness in your business, like you've been giving, pouring yourself into it, and there hasn't been that fair exchange, that equal level of receiving, now is the time for that to happen. But you have to do that internal work. You have to be willing to really believe in yourself, to fully trust yourself, to fully show up as yourself, to fully show up with your gifts, to do something you've never done before and be you in a way that you've never been before in order to have that harmony and balance come into fruition. Because it's possible and it's here for you and you get to experience it. What next level of you does your business need? Right? There is this next level emerging, but it's your authentic self. It's not you becoming something that's inauthentic and not true to you. It's you fully expressing who you are. And that's what your business needs. So what is that next level? What does that look like? Right? For me, it looks like sharing more profoundly, sharing more often, and also being more funny, sharing my humor, right? I have a Sag moon. I have I have a Ophiuchus Scorpio Mercury. I have a lot to share. I have a lot to speak to. I have Divine Communication Center in my soul group, in my soul profile that Cassandra gave me. And that's a profound way to learn about yourself and about your own gifts. If you're ever interested in a soul realignment with Cassandra, the healer in this space, I highly recommend it. It's really profound. It's really, really profound, the opportunity that we have right now to bring in more harmony and peace for ourselves. Our North Node is still in Pisces, right next to Chiron, right? We are still deepening our level of psychic awareness, our level of knowing of what it is that we're here to provide for the collective, our level of artistry, our level of love. But we have to remember that we have to stay grounded. We have to stay in our bodies. We have to stay supporting ourselves in our physical vessels in order to do that. The last thing I'll speak to is the fact that Venus is still in Leo. So Venus in Leo is here providing us so much love, so much expansion, so much expansion of the heart, so much ability to be brave enough to show up for ourselves and to want what we truly want and to desire what we truly desire and to really let ourselves believe in the power of love. And this is opposing Neptune in Pisces. So the power and energy that we have around our creativity and around our artistry is really expansive right now. So let that fully come through you. Let that fully be a gift to yourself and the world. Let your love be a gift to the world, because it is. And the love that you have for the level of ability that you have for creating art, for creating expansion, for creating new perspectives, for creating art through your words, art through your visuals, art through your being and your energy is really profound. And there's like so much love that gets to surround you, but it's about letting that come through, letting yourself go to those depths of yourself so that you can fully share it all, and sharing all those lessons that you've learned that have been hard won over time, and sharing those lessons as a part of your core identity, and really letting that identity be one of a leader, right? Letting your full true leadership shine. So we're in this really dynamic time. We're in all of these shifts. We have this lunar energy and this eclipse energy to really transform us from the inside out. And I really hope that this has served you. Thank you for saying that it was helpful. And let me know if you have any questions. You can always leave questions in the comments below. And I love you all. Have a powerful, powerful full moon and lunar eclipse. Bye.